Hey, what's up, team? Hopefully that music didn't cut in too hard, but this is Wednesday, and Wednesday Wentzville Reads encourages us to come and introduce ourselves, to kind of let you know who we are, what we're about, services we offer, all that kind of stuff. First and foremost, big shout out to Jessica and Natalie and everybody else involved with Wentzville Reads. You guys are making books cool again, and anybody who's doing that is on the front lines of making this world awesome, and I appreciate you. So, who am I? What am I about? First, I save books. That's the long and short of it. Whatever situation you may find yourself in with a bunch of books that you'd obviously would prefer not hit the recycle bin or the trash can, I will come get them. I don't charge for the service. I don't check to see what you have. You just tell me where they are. Tell me how much needs to get picked up, and we'll be there with a big smile and maybe a little happy dance. What do we do with the books when we get them? First and foremost, we just auction them off. I am a Whatnot bookstore streamer. I have rehomed roughly 15,000 books so far just on this platform. We have a variety of shows. This is our big show here, the ADHD show. We'll have generally 500 to 600 new books, new to us. We only deal in used books. We don't do new books. Support your local bookstore. We have many. Support all of them. I'm going to try to. Just pick this up. Over at Double Dog. Thank you. But so Sense of the Realm is kind of like a talk show kind of thing. This is autism awareness. I'm neurospicy, so we try to get involved in this stuff as often as we can. Anyway, I do a lot of disability advocacy. I actually just spoke at No Kings in that context. I have a video if you guys would like to see that speech. But we also do a lot of consignment. And if you have enough books for me, we can do a whole show just dedicated to you. I have roughly 3,000 followers, so that's like the equivalent of like a book fair, like that amount of customers coming in to see your book. And we generally do like a 50-50 split off the bottom line, just after shipping costs and fees and stuff. Not my fees, Whatnot, platform fees and stuff. You get it. You exist on the internet. Anyway, and then we have the Old Shit Show, which is kind of old magazines, old photos, which I collect and share. Ephemera, because, when I'm saving books out of basements, it's not always just the books. A lot of times I get extra stuff that the family is just, ready to be done with. So, and of course, cookbooks. I mean, I used to be a restaurant manager, kitchen manager. I love cookbooks. Folks collect the snot out of these things, so we have a whole show dedicated to that. We have smaller shows that pop up all the time, and then, of course, the ADHD show is the show that's weekly. It's a huge show. It's every Saturday at 6 p.m. CST. There's local pickup available, so you guys can get a leg up on the other folks that because they still have to pay the shipping. I do have a Facebook page, which some of you guys will be on. Do be warned, I talk about politics all of the time. There's a lot going on in the world. Obviously, I'm a long-haired brown guy. I'm not a huge fan of ICE and things like that. And of course, I call myself a disability advocate. I live in that space a lot, so a lot of our government impacts these folks, and I try to bring awareness. Also infectious disease. We just went through 100 years, once in 100 years pandemic that unfortunately is still ongoing. So I try to stay plugged in with that. My wife is disabled. She's had 8 brain surgeries. That's kind of how I ended up. It was the weird kid in the basement selling books, as some have called me, which is fine. I like books. I'm a weird kid. My basement's cool. Call me what you want. So, and I do get involved a little bit in local politics. Some of you may have seen recently my thoughts on a certain alderman. Here's my buddy over at Double Dog. So, and this is information from Left Bank. I try to keep my finger on the heartbeat, the pulse of kind of what's going on, not only in Wentzville but in St. Louis as a whole. So that's Facebook. I am trying to get a YouTube channel going. Not super. I'm having a hard time finding my groove. But what I'm trying to do is, again, talking about politics in the context of the advocacy and the book advocacy, but also just like books are inherently political, like this one here. I do try to bring like happy, fun, like fluffy stuff too. I'm not just always like intense. I'm actually like a super like happy-go-lucky type of dude. But like this is a first American edition of Diary of a Young Girl, which is of course what introduced us to Anne Frank. These really cool like choose your own adventure. I talk about that kind of stuff. Also viral book-related trends. I try to keep my, again, my finger on the pulse of book talk and Twitter. I'm still on the dumpster fire that is Twitter. But if you follow me there, just know I yell at politicians quite a bit. So this used to be, anyway, I'm rambling. You guys get the idea. What to show you next? I think that's pretty much it. That's who I am. You're welcome to hang out. My shows, like my live shows are really kind of more of a Twitch show. There's never any pressure. I'm definitely not that guy that will call you chat or be upset when something sells. What you will see is a very, very happy guy, like rehoming books, which is exactly what what child Steve wanted to do as an adult, and we got there finally. So, but I love it. I love it all. You're welcome to hang out, especially if this all started, the live shows, with giving a space to disabled people just to kind of hang out with no pressure, someone to talk to that gets it. And then it just kind of, morphed into something else. So again, I'm rambling. Steve the Book Guy. I ramble a lot. So if you ever see my stuff, this is normal. But have a great day. It's rainy out here in Wentzville. I'm going to keep listing books, getting these shows ready for the weekend, and I'll see you soon.